Hello, anyone not still living in the 1970s? We interrupt your day to bring you this announcement. Husker Ninja is in the building. Alright, guys, we are here today with, I believe it is episode number 3 of the Road to Canton series here. We're going to be covering week 6 through I think it's 11 in this video. And then we will finish up the regular season in the next episode, which will hopefully come out not too long from now. But let's go ahead and get into it here. As we look, Oklahoma gets taken to the woodshed by Texas, 49-16. Texas 4-1. Oklahoma falls to 2-3 on the year. Mickelson had 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, but Oklahoma still gets blown out. Alabama survives against Texas A&M, and nothing doing there for Bentley. Ohio State gets the win over Northwestern. Burton doing some stuff in the return game. As Missouri loses to South Alabama, and we are looking nothing there for Ekstrom. LSU blanks Florida 27-0. Mentor with 1 carry for a yard, but he gets a touchdown. So Colin Mentor with his first career rushing touchdown. As Cole doesn't do a ton in the return game. And UConn gets blown out by UCF. Brader had 5 tackles, 2 for loss, 1 sack. And not too much else in the shellacking there. Iowa State takes down Oklahoma State 45-31. Hornswoggle with 1 touchdown reception, and he is actually going to get a second touchdown catch in the game. So 2 touchdown drives for Hornswoggle on 9 catches for 121 yards. And he's up to 3 touchdowns this year, I believe, 3 receiving scores. East Carolina going to lose to Middle Tennessee State. When you look, Jars had 2 tackles. He gets his first career INT, so an interception for Jowers, but a loss for ECU. And Jowers will also get 2 deflections, but the Pirates are now 2-3. As we advance to the next week, Missouri takes down Mississippi State. Ekstrom with 3 tackles right there, 2 solo, 1 assisted. But Ekstrom finally getting in on some more action here. He doesn't do anything else. North Carolina gets the win. Jenkins is redshirting this year. Alabama wins, and nothing doing for Bentley. Iowa State takes down TCU 48-31. And Hornswoggle with another touchdown grab. That'll take him up to 4 this year, I believe. He had 1 carry for 1 yard and 7 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. So a solid freshman season so far for Hornswoggle as LSU takes down Arkansas State. And Virginia Tech, despite Banks not playing, gets the win there. Florida takes down Vanderbilt. And UConn wins. They take down UCF as Brader has a few tackles there, not too much doing. ECU loses again, this time to Marshall. So they're now 2-4. Jowers had 3 tackles. He had another interception. So interceptions in back-to-back weeks for Jowers. He's up to, I believe that's 2 interceptions. He also had 5 deflections, so he could have easily had 2-3 more picks. But 5 deflections and an interception for Jowers, as Alabama will lose to Arkansas in the next week, and they're going to lose by 19, 33-14. Bentley not getting any action. LSU takes down Buffalo. Mentor 1 carry for 2 yards, nothing in the receiving game. Ohio State beats Penn State, and Burton will have 1 catch for 8 yards. He makes a little bit of an impact in the return game as well. Oklahoma shellacks Kansas as we look for Mickelson, and he actually did not get on the stat sheet. Florida takes down Missouri, and Ekstrom had 2 tackles, 1 solo, 1 assisted in the loss. And Cole, he did all right in the return game. ECU loses again, this time to UAB 29-22. Jowers had 4 tackles, 2 solo, 2 assisted, no picks, no deflections either. So just a couple tackles there for Jowers as North Carolina is going to beat Georgia Tech. And Vanderbilt will beat Missouri. Looking to see if Ekstrom got in. He did not. Virginia Tech gets another win. And LSU takes down Texas A&M. Nothing for Mentor there. Florida loses to Georgia. Cole does alright in the return game. Advancing the week again now. Oklahoma beats West Virginia. They're back above 500. 3 tackles for Mickelson. And not much else, but Oklahoma gets the win. UConn losing to Louisville. Brader with 4 tackles and a deflection. And it's looking like not too much else there in the loss. Ohio State continues to win, this time by 5 against Minnesota. Burton 5 kick returns, 101 yards, does alright in the punt return game as well. Alabama loses again, this time to Tennessee, and still nothing for Bentley. That'll be another North Carolina win. Again, Jenkins is redshirted. Missouri loses to Kentucky. Ekstrom gets a tackle, but nothing else. Ohio State beats Illinois. Burton kind of quiet in the return game. And ECU loses their 4th straight game. They're now 2-6. Another deflection for Jowers. And Florida loses to Miami, I believe. UConn going to beat SMU for their 2nd win of the season. A tackle there for Brader. And Oklahoma, as we advance the week again, they win again. They're now 5-3, take down TCU. 6 tackles, 3 for loss for Mickelson. So a good game for Jordan Mickelson. Alabama beats LSU by 7. And nothing doing for either of the running backs. And DeAndre Bozeman at Bama is redshirting this year. Hornswoggle 3 catches for 22 yards in Iowa State's win over Baylor. We're going to end the season with a look at the season stats so far. 25 tackles, 3 for loss, 1 sack for Brader, 2 deflections. And Jowers has 18 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, half a sack, 2 interceptions, 12 deflections. So he's had himself a nice freshman campaign, I would say. Cole with 24 kick returns, 547 yards, 28 punt returns for 300 yards about. Hornswoggle, 31 catches, 379 yards, 4 scores. Still the 2nd leading receiver behind Quentin Bundridge. But this tight end is having himself a nice freshman season as well. And he still does not have any drops this year. 9 carries, 44 yards, and a score for Colin Mentor. He's seen limited action here, as is Drew Ekstrom, who's got 9 tackles, half a sack, and 1 tackle for loss. So limited playing time for some of these freshmen. Maybe I would have redshirted them. Burton again with 2 catches so far. He's doing alright in the return game though. Mickelson with 30 tackles, 8 for loss, 1 sack. He got 2 deflections and a forced fumble. So he's having himself a pretty good freshman season. But that will do it for this episode. And I will see you guys next time as we finish up the regular season. Have a great day, everybody.